portions of it. It simply states that any school district in the state may adopt provisions of...
Gentlemen, can you restate the motion with your LR number, please?
Yes, it's .21H, and it has been distributed and moved for its adoption.
The gentleman from Boone for the adoption of House Amendment 2. Gentleman from Boone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, any school district in the state of Missouri may adopt provisions of the subsections 2 and 3 if approved by votes of residents of the school district. So basically what this will do is no public school shall knowingly allow a student of the male sex who is enrolled in such public school to participate in the school-sponsored athletic team that is exclusively for the students of the female sex. And sex in this amendment is defined as an individual's biological sex based solely on the individual's reproductive biology and genetics at birth. Be happy to answer any questions, Mr. Speaker.
Discussion on House Amendment 2. Gentleman from St. Louis County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I inquire of the amendment maker?
Gentleman from Boone, do you yield?
Yes, I do.
Proceed.
Gentlemen, I am going to try to keep this civil. I have so enjoyed working with you on so many issues in this building, and you know how I feel about this.
And you probably know how I feel about
just hold on a minute. Just hold on a minute.
Yeah.
This is the only issue that I take personally that we discuss. This is it. And I've made it clear that we can agree to disagree and still love each other and still move forward. Unless, and I'm not the first person to say this, this came from James Baldwin, unless the root of our disagreement is in my right to exist. And that's what you're doing with this legislation. We can't move past that. We cannot agree to disagree on that. Do you remember your remarks on the floor last year when you brought this up?
You'd have to give me a specific. I mean, I made a lot of remarks last year.
So I recall a story you told about your brother.
Okay.
And I remember you said that your brother called, or that your mother called you, I believe, to tell you that your brother had some news that he was afraid to tell you.
Okay.
And your brother wanted to tell you that he was gay, didn't he?
He was expressing that to the family, and he thought that that we would hold that against him and not let my children be around him.
Why do you think he thought that?
I don't know. It never would have happened. I'll tell you that. My kids at that point in their life adored my brother.
Can I tell you, if I were your brother, I would have been afraid to tell you too.
Well, I'm sorry.
I would have been afraid to tell you too because of stuff like this. Because this is what you're focused on. This is the legislation you want to put forward. This is what consumes your time. I would have been afraid to tell you too. I was afraid of people like you growing up, and I grew up in Hickory County, Missouri. I grew up in a school district that would vote tomorrow to put this in place. And for 18 years, I walked around with nice people like you who took me to ball games, who told me how smart I was, and who went to the ballot and voted for crap like this. And I couldn't wait to get out. I couldn't wait to move to a part of our state that would reject this stuff in a minute. I couldn't wait. And thank God I made it. Thank God I made it out, and I think every day of the kids who are still there, who haven't made it out, who haven't escaped from this kind of bigotry. Gentlemen, I'm not afraid of you anymore because you're gonna lose. You may win this today, but you're going to lose. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Further discussion on House Amendment 2.